Throughout its history, Major League Baseball and its players have served this nation in the armed forces. Today, the Astros and all of Major League Baseball supports a new generation of American heroes. It's Memorial Day at Minute Maid Park as the Astros take on the Washington Nationals.
Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Today, the Astros welcome back veterans with special caps for a special cause as they open a 7-game homestand. Good afternoon, everybody. On this Memorial Day, Bill Brown and Jim DeShays, and hopefully everybody enjoying a restful day and ready for some good baseball, JD.
A good win for the Astros yesterday to end a rough road trip. Lance Berkman providing the heroics in that game. The Astros turn to Roy Oswalt this afternoon. Boy, he was good last time out against Milwaukee. He's been good every time out so far this year. Quality start each and every time he's gone to the hill. But it was more than that last time. A dominant performance as he struck out 9 in 8 shutout innings against the Milwaukee Brewers.
Luis Atalano of Washington opposes Roy today as the Astros are back home at Minute Maid Park, and the fans will be coming in on this Memorial Day to see a Washington Nationals club which is playing pretty well at one game under 500. The Astros try to get revved up against the Nats in just a moment. Brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers and the 2010 F-150. By Jack in the Box. Try Jack's new grilled breakfast sandwich. And by the Progressive Insurance Group. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Inside on an air-conditioned day at Minute Maid Park, the Astros open this 4-game series. And the first time they've seen the Washington Nationals this season. Houston coming off a 2-4 road trip. And Washington has that same 2-4 record on its current road trip, which took them to the West Coast before they came in here late last night. There they are, and there is their batting order brought to you by Capital One for Jim Riggleman's Nationals, with Christian Guzman leading it off at second base. It's Niger Morgan in center field. Ryan Zimmerman, who hit 2 home runs yesterday at San Diego, is the third baseman, with Houston native Adam Dunn at first base. It's Josh Willingham at left field, Willie Harrison right field, Ian Desmond the shortstop, Carlos Maldonado the catcher, Luis Atalano the pitcher.
Well, Roy Oswalt takes the hill for the Astros this afternoon, really pitching well in 2010. 10 starts, 3-6 record, but throw that out the window. He's pitched very well. 2.35 ERA, 9th best in the National League, averaging a strikeout an inning, league hitting just 209 against Roy, coming off that 8-inning shutout performance last time in Milwaukee. Defensive help comes from Lee Bourne and Pence, Feliz, Manzella, Keppinger, and Berkman. Humberto Quintero knocked around a little bit yesterday, but it's tough to keep a good man down. He's back in there today to catch Roy.
The youngster cries out play ball, and the game begins with Christian Guzman at second base leading it off, and Pedro Feliz is looking right at him. They are almost nose to nose. Feliz is in so close on Guzman, a .321 hitter. That's the second best batting average in the league. Guzman is well established as a fine bunter. Pedro backed up a few steps now, and there is ball one.
Kind of just an opportunity, kind of like a linebacker when he shows blitz, you know, gets right up on the line and he's sneaking a line, letting Guzman know, I'm here for you, big fella. You're thinking about it.
Line shot to the gap in left center field. Guzman will run. He might get a triple on this. He's into second base and holding there with a leadoff double. That's his 8th of the year.
Guzman, a guy who's always been able to hit for a high average. He doesn't draw a lot of walks, doesn't hit for a lot of power, but he gets a lot of base hits. Out on that front foot, keeps the hands back. Good off-field approach, finds the alley in left center, so immediate trouble for Roy.
Speedy Nigel Morgan follows, and he's bunting. Quintero throws to first, and Lance Berkman takes that on the sacrifice from 2 to 3, getting Guzman to third.
Well, and that's a play I don't really endorse, but from what I've been told about Nigel Morgan, he's really been struggling, so he probably feels like anything he can do to help the ball club is not a bad idea. And of course, he's thinking too, if he pushes out further from Q, he's got a chance to get a base hit.
Astros leave the infielders back for Ryan Zimmerman, who hit 2 bombs yesterday in San Diego. He has 10 homers this year, 27 runs batted in, and a .299 average. He had been in a 2.5-week slump as far as home runs go until yesterday. Zimmerman looks at ball one outside. Zimmerman won a Gold Glove and Silver Slugger award last year in the National League. One of the fine players from the '05 draft. He was the 4th player drafted that year. Just 25 years old now. It's 1-1. Zimmerman is from Washington, North Carolina, and the University of Virginia. Last year he hit 33 homers, drove in 106 runs, so Roy Oswalt has a challenge right here with Adam Dunn on deck. Roy in his career against this club is 3-1 with a 3.11 ERA. To right field, Hunter Pence backing on it with the tag at third by Guzman. That'll get him on to make it 1-0 Nationals. Sacrifice fly Zimmerman, RBI number 28 for him.
Well, the Nationals buying right into this theme on Memorial Day, a sacrifice. Sacrifice bunt, sacrifice fly, and it's 1-0.
Guzman with the leadoff double, moved around on the bunt. Now he scores on this fly ball toward the end of the bat. Inning run for the Nationals, who are 12th in the National League in runs scored. Adam Dunn, born in Houston, has a .270 batting average, 10 homers, 23 runs batted in. And there's strike one to Big Adam, who's been one of the top sluggers and one of the tops in drawing walks since he entered the league. Those numbers providing him with a good start again this season. And the former quarterback has a 1-1 count. Went to New Caney High School, and he was a quarterback at the University of Texas before switching to baseball exclusively. Last year he hit 38 homers for Washington, drove in 105, and they play in a big ballpark in Washington.
Adam, one of those guys, there's no park that can hold him. When he gets a hold of it, he can go out of any ballpark, any direction.
Well, the breaking ball misses this time. And the count's even at 2-2.
It looked like he started to walk off like he'd been punched out. He was fooled by the off-speed breaking pitch. And he knows the strike zone as well as anybody, and I think he thought it was a strike. Look at, he's ready to head back to the dugout and get his glove.
And a strikeout follows. Oswalt gets his man, but the Nationals get a run on one hit, and they lead 1-0. Brought to you by Capital One. Michael Bourne comes toward the plate. He's the leadoff man and center fielder, followed by Jeff Keppinger at second base. Lance Parkman's at first base. He had the game-winning hit yesterday with Carlos Lee in left field. Hunter Pence is the right fielder with a nice month of May. Pedro Feliz is the third base with Tommy Manziel as shortstop. Alberto Quintero, the catcher for Roy Oswalt. Michael Bourne takes the first one from Luis Atilano, and it's strike one to a .271 hitting Bourne with no homers, 7 runs batted in. Atilano, quite a story. 1 ball, 1 strike. He was drafted in the first round in '03 by the Atlanta Braves. He's from Santurce, Puerto Rico. They traded him to Washington in '06 for Darrell Ward. They traded him 21 days after he had had Tommy John surgery. Pretty tough to project when you're dealing for a guy who's going to be out for at least a year after the trade, but it's worked out very well for this Washington organization.
Yeah, I imagine most of the Nationals' moves in the past few years have been with the future in mind. You're willing to take a risk on an injured guy that you feel like has legitimate upside. And so far, his recall from AAA has been good. 7 starts, 4-1 record, 4.82 ERA. He's not overpowering, sinker slider guy. Gets a lot of ground balls when he's on his game.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Lance Berkman watching as the Astros look at this pitcher for the first time. He was not in the major leagues last year. He was at AA Harrisburg most of the year. Made 20 starts there. And 2 more at AAA Syracuse. 25 years old, filling the roster spot and the rotation spot of Jason Marquis. 3-2. And phenom Steven Strasburg probably will be pitching for Jim Riggleman's club in another couple of weeks. Everybody in Washington very excited about Strasburg. Riggleman has been a part of a big turnaround so far with this team. After losing 103 last year, they're 25-26 right now. Michael Bourne takes the leadoff walk.
And well, they're so fired up about Strasburg that they're showing his games on local television. His minor league starts have been on the air back in the Washington area.
Really?
Yeah, not all of them, but I think all of them since he's moved to AAA, and maybe some of the AA starts as well, either live or tape delayed. I can't think of a time when he's been an amateur player or a minor league player. It's ballyhooed as this guy. It's just crazy.
Yes, it is crazy. Jeff Keppinger's the batter. Taking strike one. 294, no homers, 18 runs batted in, 16 doubles, ties him for third in the league. He had another 2-hit day yesterday at Cincinnati, hit 308 on the road trip. In his last 17 games, he's been a 352 hitter. It's 1-1. There's been very little base stealing attempted against the Nationals this year. 27 attempts with 18 of them successful. Maldonado is making his second start for this team. Will Nieves is the other catcher who's active right now with Pudge Rodriguez on the disabled list.
Well, Pudge certainly helps to explain that low number of attempted steals. He's back there. Teams are a little wary of trying to run. And Maldonado's pretty good back there as well. But, you know, if you're Michael Bourne, you feel like you can steal bases off the best combinations in baseball, especially when you got a ground ball guy in the mound. You want to stay out of that double play.
Many of the national starters are ground ball types of pitchers. Clark has signs for third base. Sneaks through the right side. Bourne takes a look at Clark and wants him to turn and then hold at second. That's what he does with Harris coming up with the ball in shallow right field. Keppinger with a single, first and second for Berkman now.
Michael had to wait to let that ball clear before he could take off. Slowly enough here, but I thought he might be able to advance to third base. But nobody out. Probably makes sense to play it safe here. You see Harris coming hard from right field. Yeah, they made the prudent decision. That wouldn't worked out too well if he tried to go to third there.
Now Lance Berkman, 2 on and nobody out. He'll try to reprise what he did yesterday in the 10th inning with a 2-run double to win that game 2-0. He had runners at first and second, had 2 outs when he came up with a line drive to the right field corner against the Reds. There's strike one. He has 17 runs batted in now with 5 homers and a .234 average.
He was up there yesterday in the first inning with runners on first and second, nobody out, grounded into a double play. Grounded into a double play his next time up. 0 for 4 when he came up with that at bat in the 10th and delivered the game winner.
Good changeup.
That could have been just one of his worst games of the year into a positive, delivering the game-winning hit. Talked to him after the game. He said, "Hey, you've been around this game long enough. You don't panic." Continued to have good at bats. It felt like he was seeing the ball well and swinging the bat well yesterday. Just didn't have the results until that final at bat.
That changeup had a ton of movement on it. And a sinking fastball gets strike 3 call. Delano hitting the spot for out number 1.
Changeup sets up the fastball. Slot. According to Fox Track, just off the outside corner. Really on the home plate umpire thought it was good enough.
Lions would quickly endorse Fox Tracks on that one. Carlos Lee with 5 homers, 20 runs batted in. The runners go, and the throw goes to second on the trailing runner, but they call him out. Oh, Keppinger looks at Bruce Dreckman. A smart play by Maldonado to go for the trailing runner, and he gets out number 2 at second.
Now let's take a peek at this play. Good strong throw, a little high. The tag comes down, and that's just a guess. That's if you're umpiring that, there's no way you can conclusively know. That's guesswork.
Now with Bourne at third, the count is 1-1. No stolen base for Bourne because Keppinger was thrown out, also trying to steal. Lee at 205 will try to deliver this runner from third. He found dials it back.
It's interesting, though, but if Kepinger's safe, then Bourne gets credited with a steal.
True.
Which is kind of ironic because you could almost argue it should be a fielder's choice. They didn't try to make a play on Michael Bourne. They made a play on the other guy, just like they did in this instance.
Just the official scoring rules. Breaking pitch takes the count to 2-2. That's Alano. Has the sinking fastball, which you've seen, and the excellent changeup. Breaking stuff still a work in progress for him.
Turned 25 earlier this month.
With the line, Paul Emmel made the call.
Had some good swings in that Cincinnati series. Had a pretty good road trip. Started to hit the ball with authority to right and right center. Indication that he's staying in a little bit longer. Seeing the ball, trusting the hands.
He lifts this sinker, and it's outside the right field line and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. National starting pitchers have combined for an ERA of 3.77. Pretty respectable as a group. This is a 4-game series. The finale will be a day game on Thursday at 1:05. Brett Myers and Craig Stammen go tomorrow night at 7:05. Foul ball. Then Wednesday night at 7:05, it's Wandy Rodriguez and John Lannon. And a match of the lefties, and the Astros have now named their starter for Thursday. Brian Moeller will take that start against J.D. Martin.
Not surprisingly, Adelano is better against left-handed hitters than righties with that sinker changeup combination running away from the left-handed hitters.
Up the middle and glove. Guzman throws from a knee but can't get enough on it, and it's a tie game 1-1. Carlos Lee with the RBI infield single sends Michael Bourne home. He almost had a double just inside the third base line, and he goes with his patented 2-out, 2-strike up the middle hit.
Challenged him with a fastball, middle in, got on top of it. Nice play by Guzman to glove it. Off balance, couldn't get anything on the throw. Lead-off walk, comes back to bite him.
Hunter Pence once more this inning. First pitch breaker is ball 1 to Pence, a .277 hitter with 8 homers, 23 runs batted in. He's on a 7-game hitting streak, and he's driven in 16 runs in his last 20 games. Hunter hit .458 on the road trip. To right field. Harris moving in. And the Astros tie it in the first with a run on 2 hits and a man left. Joe DiMaggio, among the many Major League veterans who served during wartime and gave up some of his time playing baseball in the major leagues to serve his country.
Diamond Edition for your chance to sit in a suite for an upcoming Astros game courtesy of your Houston area Chevy dealers. Log on to foxsportshouston.com and click on the Chevy Malibu Suite Night giveaway link, guys.
Thanks, Patty. Second inning underway. And there's strike one to Josh Willingham, the left fielder with a .275 average. And it's 10 homers, 34 runs batted in. Make it ball one to Willingham. He leads the league in on base average at .429. Now it's even. Willingham, Tim Riggleman was telling us, really knows the strike zone. I don't. It's 0-2. But anyway, Josh knows it. I'm trying to get this count right here.
Yeah, that's how well he knows it. And the 2 strikes up to lay off that pitch just off the corner. He's tied for the league lead in walks, leads the league in on-base percentage. And when you throw it in there, he's pretty dangerous, too. High slugging percentage. To this point, anyway, the best year of his career. OPS in the mid-9s, 950, 960, something like that.
It is impressive. A swing and a miss for Oswalt. Gets Willingham, strikeout number 2.
That was something high and ugly, but it worked. It looked like a changeup, maybe.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Something off-speed. Not where you'd want to throw an off-speed pitch.
But maybe the unpredictability of it for Roy, to a right-handed batter, is what worked. Willie Harris, 188, 4 homers, 15 runs batted in, is the right fielder today. Harris takes strike one, formerly with the Atlanta Braves. Pedro Feliz in tight at third base for Harris, who gets the curve. And it's 1-1 to Willie. Willie has as many runs batted in, 15, as he has hits this year. Another curve makes it 1-2. Oswalt has won 140 games. He's lost 76. He ties Nolan Ryan for starts as an Astro today. Two and 2. 282 starts with the Astros for Roy. That's tied with Nolan for third place on the all-time franchise list right now with those numbers. Fastball just off the plate. 3-2. This Washington club is 9th in drawing walks.
Hahn, he's going to force the pitchers to throw that ball over the plate. Another one very close.
First walk for Oswalt.
And people are probably saying, well, what do you mean force him to throw it over the plate? Isn't that the idea? Yeah, but some umpires give you a little extra room on the outside part of the plate because they don't call the inside part, just it's the zone that they see. So I'm not saying that they're intentionally going, oh, I'm going to give them room off the plate. They think it's on the plate. Some guys just have a bigger zone than others.
Ian Desmond, the shortstop. He's been hitting well. There's strike one to Desmond. 263 for the season. 4 homers. 25 runs batted in for Desmond, but he's hit 304 his last 13 games with 8 runs batted in. Desmond, 24 years old. He was drafted in the 3rd round in 2004 by the Nats. He's from Sarasota, Florida. 0-2. Last year, Desmond started at AA Harrisburg, then advanced to AAA Syracuse, and on up to Major League Club for 82 at-bats.
And they really like this kid's skill set. Very athletic. Makes a lot of plays out at shortstop. Got some pop in his bat. I feel like they're pretty well set on the left side of that infield now with he and Ryan Zimmerman. Ooh, my. Ooh.
1-2.
Quintero out of his crouch. Watch Roy's reaction. Talked with his knees. Then he pretends he's fixing his shoes because he didn't want to show up the umpire. All over that strike zone.
What's the difference? The ladder is also a little off the plate. Oh, well. 3rd strikeout.
So Billy Hahn, who had been hearing it from the Astros dugout, now turns his attention to the Washington dugout, but I imagine they're making that same point. Saying, that's the same pitch, Billy. It was a ball last time. It should be a ball this time.
Desmond's rung up. Third strikeout, and now it's Carlos Maldonado, the 31-year-old veteran catcher. He takes ball one. He's had just 2 at-bats. This is his second start with the Nationals. He was at AAA Pawtucket last season. He's been in the major leagues with Pittsburgh in 06 and 07.
Just sparing late. A long time in the minor leagues. Actually spent time with the Astros organization at Round Rock in New Orleans at the beginning of the last decade. Hit his first major league home run against the Astros off of Mark McLemore.
It's taking us back a few years.
7, I think.
Carlos is from Venezuela. Maracaibo. Puts it in the air, and Keppinger looks out at Pence, who comes in right field for the plate around the top of the second inning. No runs, no hits, and a man left. 1-1. Major leaguer Elmer Gedeon, one of 2 major league players killed in World War II, signed with the Washington Senators in 1939.
Came up with the Senators September of 1939. Back to the minor leagues in 1940. Shassin took away in the big leagues.
Strike to Pedro Feliz, a 205 hitter with 2 homers, 16 runs batted in. Jeff Blum has started at third base the last couple of games. Pedro's been putting in extra work on his hitting. And that ground ball goes to Ryan Zimmerman. 1 out for Atalano.
Pedro just going through a real rough patch. We talked about Carlos and how he seems to be staying back a little bit better, staying on the ball, and that's what happens when a hitter starts to feel confident. They trust their hands. And you can tell Pedro, he just isn't there. He's lunging at the ball out on that front foot a lot.
Tommy Manzella, a 203 hitter, has 1 homer. He's driven in 8.
Gex Energy there, providing our Fox tracks for you. Fox tracks have been busy today. Borderline calls.
Yeah. Very much so. 2 balls, no strikes. It really helps you to understand why players voice their displeasure sometimes. You see the location there. Fly ball hit deep to right field. Harris backing. 2 outs.
Good swing of the bat, though. Manzella coming off a pretty good road trip, starting to hit the ball with a little authority. to be gaining in confidence, starting to settle in here in the big leagues.
Roberto Quintero got hit by a pitch on the left elbow yesterday in the 8th inning. He had a bandage on that when we arrived home. 242, 1 homer, 5 runs batted in. He was unraveling that bandage as we were waiting for the suitcases to arrive last night. Here's ball 1. Solano comes in and evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Q has hit .294 his last 5 games. He hit .308 on the road trip, 4 for 13. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Solano taking a page out of Roy Oswalt's playbook, working very quickly here.
Guzman backhands. And it's a quick second inning for Atalano. And Stan Musial was another of the outstanding Major League players who went on to Hall of Fame status, who joined up during World War II.
Third and Kids Free All Summer, presented by Minute Maid Park, is back this summer. For every full-price adult ticket you purchase in the outfield or view deck sections, you can get up to 2 free tickets for kids 14 and under. Kids can also earn rewards for coming to the Astros game with the Kids Passport program. Visit Astros.com for tickets, guys.
Thank you, Patty. Luis Atalano leads it off in a 1-1 game in the 3rd inning. Strike 1 to the pitcher, who has 1 hit in 14 at-bats for an .071 average. Atalano beat Tim Lincecum in his last start. Facing Roy Oswalt, a chance to pull off a back-to-back accomplishment. Is not done all that often, especially by a rookie.
Need 3 of a kind to beat a pair of aces.
Rolled out to second base. Kepler throws out the Washington pitcher, 1 out. The leadoff double. Oswalt has been setting down these Nationals except for the walk to Harris. Guzman started the game with that double to left center field, and he came around on a sac bunt and a sac fly. Nationals have played a lot of close games. 20 of their last 25 have been decided by 2 runs or 1 run. Strike 1 to Guzman. Atlanta's in front of Philadelphia 6-0. They're in the bottom of the 5th at Atlanta with Tommy Hanson on the mound. Chipper Jones hit his 3rd home. 1 ball, 1 strike. That Philly club in the throes of a team slump.
Where would they be without Halladay? They just can't score. Got beat 1-0 yesterday, day after winning the Halladay perfect game 1-0.
Slashed off the glove of Feliz and into left field. Guzman 2 for 2 in this game.
He's a great handler of the bat, an ideal number 2 hitter. That's the way the Astros had it set up, with Nigel Morgan leading off, Guzman hitting behind it, but Morgan really struggling, so Jimmy Ruggelman's made a little switch. Guzman, because he doesn't walk a lot, so his on-base percentage normally is just a few points higher than his batting average. It's great bat control, tremendous hit-and-run man.
Morgan put down the sac bunt first time up.
Guzman would be great at racket sports. Tennis.
Absolutely. Morgan, very speedy player. Brings a lot of outfield coverage to the Nationals club. It's 2-0. He's 29 years old now. He's from San Francisco. He made a tremendous catch here in 07 on Ty Wigginton. Ran all over center field before he wound up on Tal's Hill. He was a 33rd round draft choice of the Pirates in 02.
Nigel was a hockey player, right?
Yep. He left home at age 16. Played 4 years of junior hockey in Canada. 37 pitches for Roy, 22 of them strikes. Normally he would have a higher percentage of strikes than that. The strike zone's pretty tight today.
Morgan doesn't hit for a lot of power, so game plan here is just start pumping strikes over the fat part of the plate. Don't want to walk them. The Nationals in position to have a big inning. Taking all the way there, 3-0, and he's looking down to see if they have him taking 3-1. I can't imagine that they would. A little run and hit him.
He lines one into right field. Guzman turning and headed for third. Hunter Pence gets it back to Keppinger. And it's first and third, one out for the Nationals, and Zimmerman batting.
That's the swing I was talking about yesterday with Michael Bourne. You want your speed guys to be patient and try to work the count and draw walks, but you get in a situation where you know you're going to get a fastball, 2-0, 3-1. Good idea to, instead of thinking about punching it the other way, turn it loose, try to turn on the ball and hit it with authority.
Zimmerman hit the fly ball to right field, which scored Guzman in the first inning. He looks at ball 1 there.
Roy and Quintero are going to have a little confab here. They're going to have to come up with a plan B, I think, with Capon being pretty stingy with that outside corner. Try to find a different way to get strike one instead of painting the corner. Maybe start flipping that curveball up there. A lot of times hitters come up looking fastball and you can steal a strike by just flipping a slow curve into the strike zone.
Brad Mills' club has won 5 of the last 7 here at home from Washington. That's 2-0. Adam Dunn's on deck. Yankees lead Cleveland 2-1. They've played 5 at Yankee Stadium. Zimmerman flailed at that
one. Yeah, 2 balls, no strikes. Pretty well convinced he was going to get a fastball. There's nothing wrong with that swing there. He's just cheating on a fastball, treating it like a freebie. It's not like he's down in the count now because he went after that pitch. The responsibility of a power hitter is to be overly aggressive from time to time, looking to inflict damage.
Zimmerman walked 72 times last year. Runner goes from first, and the ball is fouled. Morgan will come back.
I think it's just a mishit. There's some confusion out there, but
Zimmerman now. Brad Mills thought it was a foul ball. Let's see what they're going to rule. The batter touched the ball or none with the bat.
I didn't think so initially. I think when Hans signaled like it was a foul ball. I think that's where the confusion is. He gave some indication that they're thinking it was a foul ball. He's saying it's a foul tip caught and then dropped. I guess is what he's saying.
Yeah, that could be.
And he's right.
Because he went to transfer it, he dropped.
He was treating it as two separate plays. Foul tip caught, that keeps the ball in play, and then dropped on the transfer.
So Morgan gets his 10th steal. Two balls, two strikes to Zimmerman. And now 3-2. Milwaukee leads at Florida 4-0 there in the bottom of the 6th inning with Chris Narveson on the mound. Grounded wide of third. Pat Listash, who lives in this area, is the third base coach for the Nationals. Former Astro. And former Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Milwaukee Brewers. 1992, maybe? That's right. That's Phil Garner. How about a fastball in? They've been staying away, and they've been staying soft away. To me, it looks like Zimmerman's a pretty good idea. If they're going away, you might be able to jam them.
Zimmerman is the face of this Washington franchise. He's their all-time leader since they moved to Washington in 05. Runs, hits, doubles, homers, runs batted in games. And he's 25.
And you see that the Fox track's indicating that pretty much been away. Fastballs and soft stuff away. Cheers out there to chat about, hey, you want to take a shot inside here? Tougher to get the pitch called inside, though. Sometimes that's the issue. If you're coming in, you have to be willing to accept the fact that your man is blocking the guy.
Two pitch coming. There's ball 4 to load the bases.
This day in Astros history is brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center, making cancer history. May 31st, 1975. The Astros are up for 12 runs in the 8th inning. That's a club record. And they beat the Phillies 15-3.
Bases loaded for Adam Dunn with 1 out. He struck out in the 1st inning. The Nationals as a team are hitting .442 with the bases full.
Well, I punched him out last time. Adam Dunn has now had 70 at-bats in his career off Roy Oswalt, so these two know each other very well. Big Adam came into this game hitting .261 against Roy with 4 home runs in those 69 at-bats.
Dunn has hit 11 grand slams in his career. He leads the Nationals in extra base hits this year with 26. In the corner for a strike. It's 1-1. And Dunn with those long arms that all frame can sometimes be tied up by a good fastball in tight. Adams 6'6", listed at 290. 1-2. Nice hop on that fastball.
A four-seam fastball at 96 miles an hour above the hands. That's a good spot to go against a left-handed slugger.
Willingham's on deck. play depth with Keppinger and Manzella. Two and two to Dunn. Last year, Dunn walked 116 times. That was second in the National League. And he is not a hitter who hits very many ground balls. In tight for ball three. It's a full count now. 52 pitches for Roy Oswalt.
I thought he had his face. It looked like Adam Dunn was telling Roy, no, ball's in.
High drive to right center field. Hunter Pence turning for it. Back on the warning track, and that ball's off the wall. Guzman scores. Morgan's right on his heels. Now Zimmerman's coming home. The throw to the plate. Not in time. A 3-run double for Dunn. And it's 4-1 Nationals as Dunn boosts his RBI count to 26 with his 15th double.
Now let's take a look at this at bat, pitch by pitch. Obviously, critical confrontation. Adam Dunn up there with the bases loaded, starts with a slow curveball, and then goes for a couple of good heaters. One called, one up above the hand, swing and a miss. Tries it one more time. Why not? Just misses with that curveball in, and then comes back to the fastball. But instead of being able to get it up above the hands, that kind of swing and miss fastball on 3-2, he felt like he had to throw it in the strike zone, and unable to get to it. Really, the walking the run in there, not necessarily a bad thing, but Roy's heater, he's had a good fastball this year. Been able to beat a lot of hitters with it, took a shot, and Dunn just bested it.
Throw a second on Dunn.
Well, where was that pitch? We're going to have a confrontation here pretty soon. Roy giving the body language, all the signs of frustration of Billy Hahn.
Now Hahn's going at Q now.
Hahn's he's having a bad day back there.
Dunn was wagging his fingers at Q as if don't throw down here. They're not going to pick me off second.
It's a situation where mentally you got to be tough because a very frustrating day and you're not getting those pitches called. You just can't give in and start pumping it over the middle. It's going to be a short day for you.
The first time Oswalt has allowed 4 runs in a game this year. Strike. That's 2-2.
Here's the end of that play as the double goes all the way to the wall in front of the Astros bullpen, and Pat Listash very aggressive, sending Ryan Zimmerman home. Q tries to block him off the plate, cannot.
Now 3-2 to Willing here.
Here we go.
Yeah. Well, it's just about at the end of the line here. And he's been tossed out of the game by Bill Hahn.
And God knows he's going to end up going with him. I know it's frustrating for an umpire when he's getting second guessed by a pitcher a lot, but to toss a starting pitcher this early in the ball game. Tough. The pitcher umpire relationship much different than the hitter umpire relationship. Hitters are at home plate. They've only got 4 at bats a game for the most part. Umpires will put up a lot more from a hitter than they will with a pitcher. And they might have to deal with pitch after pitch all afternoon long. Plus the pitcher standing out there in the mound where everybody can see the interaction. A lot of times the hitter umpire is kind of behind the scenes. This ball appears to be clearly off the plate, so I don't think Hahn missed that one. But I think it was a matter of the mounting frustration for Roy.
So that's on you.
And I think he's referring to the Dunn double more than anything else.
So why would that rate an ejection?
I would imagine It was a cumulative effect of the fact that the body language that Roy was giving off pitch after pitch got Hahn a little bit riled. And I'm not sure what Roy said after Hahn responded to him. Hahn comes out with Roy's body language initially. And I think that's what Roy's saying. That's on you. I'm reacting this way because of your strike zone today. And Hahn said something. Roy responded. And that's pretty quick trigger. Now, more importantly, the Astros are down 3 runs. And they got to figure out a plan for how to pitch the rest of this ball game.
Brad Arnsberg is on the phone to the bullpen.
I don't know. Has Roy? I don't know if I've ever seen him ejected.
Don't recall that he has been. Jeff Fulcino up. Gustavo Shassin. And we'll be back right after this with a score 4-1 Nationals.
Military people that are on here. This is Sergeant Dixon and Staff Sergeant Bryant. You guys are part of 250 people that Jeff Bagwell bought tickets for to come out here in the all-you-can-eat section here at Minute Maid Park and just talk about your day and kind of how cool it is to be out here.
Oh, it's real nice to be out here. Really glad that Mr. Bagwell decided that he wanted to bring some soldiers out today. It was nice to be out on the field holding the flag for the national anthem. It's just really been a great day. It's been a good game and everything, and we're having a lot of fun out here.
And I know as important as it is for the Astros and Jeff Bagwell to bring you guys out here, I know it's important for you, too, also to represent.
Right. Today is a special day, of course, Memorial Day. We're here to honor those fallen soldiers from the first Vietnam War and recent, current. So I'm having a good time as well.
And I'm going to embarrass these two a little bit. I'm going to call them out because it's also their first date, guys. So a great way for you guys to celebrate. Good luck, and we want to be kept abreast as the relationship continues.
We'll make sure that happens.
All right. These guys are, on behalf of all the soldiers out here, our progressive fans of the game. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, Patty. We'll be back next weekend with an update on that relationship. And great to see them here at the ballpark today. And there's Val Smith's wife, Johnny, and Judy Vino watching the game today. And by the way, these special hats are available for the cause Welcome Back veterans. So you can purchase one of those if you choose to do so at MLB.com. Now some AT&T trivia is coming your way. Now let's see what today's question is. Who was the first Major League regular to be drafted into World War II? I have no idea, JD.
I have an idea because I have a sheet with the answer on it up here somewhere.
All right. What does your sheet say?
I'm holding out.
Okay. Meanwhile, those guys are holding out for ice cream in those little helmets.
You know, Billy Hahn, the home plate umpire here today, who just ejected Roy Oswalt, he was the guy last year. He kind of became a bit of a story. He ejected Bobby Cox and Brian McCann, the catcher for the Braves, in a game. And when the game ended, he fist bumped John Baker, the catcher for the Florida Marlins.
Oh, yeah.
Braves were all up in arms about that. But it's tough when you're having that kind of a relationship with an umpire as a pitcher. Well, the good news is if the zone stays this tight, the Astros should get some pitches to swing at off Atalanta.
Our Verizon call to the pen brings in Gustavo Shassin, who last pitched at Cincinnati Friday night. He went an inning and 2/3 in the 15-6 loss, and he threw 37 pitches in that game.
Yeah, he's greeted by a chorus of boos, and it's not because of anything he's done. The fans are just unhappy with the situation here today. They came out to see Roy Oswalt pitch. And with one out in the third inning, he's sent to the showers, not by the Nationals hitters so much as Billy Hahn.
Dunn with a pretty big lead, and there's a pickoff throw into center field, and Dunn will not go to third. But Dunn was really drawing that throw by being so far off second base, though.
If you're thinking about stealing third base, well, Dunn, for a big man, runs pretty well. Not that I'm thinking he was going. But a lot of times after a break or a big play, sometimes that's when you catch the defensive team kind of out of sorts, if you will.
Yeah, it can be a good time to run, you're right. Shassin really eyeballing him now. And Willingham on a 3-2 count fouls it back. The Astros bullpen really had to come in for a lot of use on Saturday. Brian Moeller making the emergency start for Bud Norris. And Jeff Fulcino worked an inning and a third. Wesley Wright went 4 innings, so that really helped the other guys in the pen because Shassin, Fulcino, Burdak, Lopez, and then catcher Kevin Cash all pitched Friday night in the 15-6 loss. So the fact that Wright was able to stretch it out and go 4 saved Shassin and the others for a game like this today. Now back, and it stays 3 balls, 2 strikes on Willingham. Shassin had been with the Astros earlier and then had been optioned to Round Rock on the 23rd of May. Made 1 outing there before he came back. And so he has no decisions and a 1.29 ERA for his 7 innings of work with Houston. And Bill Hahn continues to draw the boos of these Minute Park fans. And that was a pretty quick ejection, in my opinion anyway.
Oh, yeah. Have an argument with the guy first. Managing the situation. Trying to get the guy to calm down.
Willingham draws a walk. I believe that walk is charged to Oswalt. The count was 3-2 when he left the game. And now it's Willie Harris. Harris drew a walk on a 3-2 pitch in the second. Double play situation now with 1 out. Runners at first and second. Harris puts it in the air, and Tommy Manzella drifts back into shallow left center field. Infield fly is called. 2 outs. That'll be Ian Desmond. He struck out looking in the second inning.
It's a shame. For most of his career has been a starting pitcher, so hopefully he can hang in there and give the Astros 2 or 3 innings here this afternoon.
He put together a really good year for the Toronto Blue Jays a few years ago, winning 13 games and losing 9.
There's a lot of pitches at the top of the strike zone. Cut fastball. Has some deception in his delivery. Not a hard thrower.
Michael Bourne back in left center. That counts for the final out. And Ted Williams really sacrificed a major portion of his major league career. He was a pilot in World War II and again, I believe, in Korea. Major League regular to be drafted into World War II? The answer, Hugh losing pitcher Mulcahy, Philadelphia.
Yeah, inducted March 8, 1941. Earned that nickname losing pitcher. He lost 76 games between 37 and 40. Philadelphia Phillies then the primary losing team. But he told the Sporting News, my losing streak is over for the duration. I'm on the winning team now. After signing on.
Gustavo Shassin leads it off, and there's strike one to him. Crowd booing Bill Hahn for the ejection of Roy Oswalt in the top of this inning. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Shassin puts one in the air, and Willie Harris is back in right field at the warning track. And Gustavo Shassin has hit a home run. How about that?
That's just incredible. Forced into action. And knocks it out of the ballpark.
How about that for a shocker?
Those pitchers are really getting it done with the bats this year.
That's the first home run by a Houston pitcher since Mike Hampton last July 24th.
That's his first big league hit, too.
Oh, wow. And it's 4-2. Michael Bourne with an 0-2 count now. Bourne walked and scored in the first inning. It's a crazy day underway here. Billy Roller goes out to second.
He pulled up.
And he's out number one. Shassin surprised everybody. Fans would love it if that would begin a big turnaround here in this game. Let's see Bourne running up the line.
Some guys, if they know they're an easy out, will break it down a little bit, but that's not typical of Michael Bourne. I don't know if he's nursing something a little bit, and they've told him, don't push it if you don't have to.
That was the first at bat for Shassin since June of 2005.
That's a problem.
Zimmerman picks up the grounder from Keppinger. 2 outs. What a moment. Didn't even expect expect to be in the game until a few minutes ago. Now he's his first big league homer. And now get a W. Now Lance Berkman, he struck out looking in the first. Foul tip for strike one. Roy Oswalt, 2 1/3 innings, allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, walked 3 and fanned 3. That walk to Willingham was charged to him after getting the 3-2 count. Popped up and Zimmerman's underneath. And in the 3rd inning, Shassin goes deep to make it 4-2 Nationals. This is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Some notables for Major League Baseball who served in World War II. Fred Williams had a lot of service. Yogi Berra, Spawn, Reese, Kiner, Campanis, and those others all served with honor. And here is Gustavo Shassin throwing ball 1 to Maldonado in a 4-2 game. Maldonado hit a fly ball to right field in the 2nd inning. Roy Oswalt was ejected from a game in 04 against the Cubs when he hit Michael Barrett with a pitch. Bouncer over the mound, and Zella takes care of out number 1.
Baseball fans, Chevy is a proud sponsor of youth baseball programs throughout the state of Texas. If you'd like to learn more about Chevy's commitment to youth league baseball programs, visit ChevyTexasBaseball.com.
Luis Atilano, the batter. He looks at ball 1. Gustavo Shassin. Boudreau has been doing some digging. Here's the first Astros relief pitcher to hit a homer since Danny Darwin in September of '88.
Dr. Death.
2-0. And Shassin is one of the select fraternity of relievers in the history of this club who have homered, including Jose Sosa. He hit a home in his first major league at bat in '75, and Dave Justy in '67. Line drive, Carlos lead. 2 outs. And now it's Guzman. Guzman has a double and a single and 2 runs scored. Guzman doesn't walk very much, but he carried a .347 on base average into this game. Switch hitter who now turns around. And he's been known for a long time, very sure-handed. both as a batter, as you've seen, with that bat control, and in the field. He doesn't walk much, but he can hit the bad balls and hit them hard.
Yeah, he swings at everything. I think 400 from this side of the plate.
They're happy. He was a little tardy with that swing. Christian, 32 years old. He drove in 52 last year for the Nationals. One hopper, Manzella. And in the fourth, Shassin gets them 1, 2, 3. He's retired 5 in a row now. And it's 4-2 Nationals. Here at Minute Maid Park, it's kind of a crazy one today. It's 4-2 Washington, bottom of the fourth inning. Carlos Lee, the batter. And he takes ball one. He had the RBI single. And Guzman made a play on him, but couldn't throw him out in the first inning. And Carlos tied the game 1-1. Now this one goes foul, third base side. For 1-1 strike count. Last year, these two teams divided the six games they played against each other. Florida dropped a 7 spot on Milwaukee in the bottom of the 6th inning.
4-0 lead for the Brewers going into that bottom of the 6th inning.
Woody Ross hit a 3-run homer. His 5th of the year.
Little gap band
in the hole, and Ryan Zimmerman makes that play to his left. One out, and our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast will show you the swing of a reliever. It's almost mean.
Yeah, you can't go in there on Shassin. Everybody knows that. I'm surprised they tried to. You just can't get in that man's kitchen. He's way too quick.
But that. Well, that's one major surprise today. Who knows what else we might have in store for you. Hunter Pence, fly ball to right. Strike one. Every time Bill Hahn does anything this crowd doesn't like, they're going to let him know about it from now on. After the ejection of Roy Oswalt. All the way, and it's 0-2. .35 of the 49 pitches have been strikes for the young right-hander, making his 8th major league start. 1-2. That hype you talked about for Strasburg will only accelerate here in the next couple of weeks until he makes that first major league start. It's thought to be coming up when they get back home around June 6th or 7th or 8th, somewhere around
there.
there.
They'll get the Reds over the weekend, and then the Pirates, my guess is they'll run them out there against the Pirates. A softer landing at the beginning of next week. The Reds are swinging the bat.
Zimmerman takes care of out number 2.
All You Can Eat is back and now available for every home game. Get a mezzanine ticket and All You Can Eat ballpark favorites for only $25. This offer is also available as a convenient 6-game flex plan, and it's great for groups. Astros.com is your source for all things Astros.
Pedro Feliz grounded to third. Now he lines one to right center. Good swing for Feliz. He comes up with a 2-out single.
And Pedro, a pull hitter, but struggling the way he is, not a bad idea to be willing to shoot the ball the other way or looking to stay back a little longer. Good swing of the bat there. Head stayed right on it.
He's aboard for Manzella, who on a 2-0 pitch fly to right. Manzella takes ball 1 with Quintero on deck. And Santana and the Angels lead Kansas City at Kansas City 4-0 in the bottom of the 5th. It's in for a 1-1 count. Joe West was fined by Major League Baseball for his actions in that game with the White Sox being involved. Ozzie Guillen and Mark Burley being tossed. That dunking into right field for a hit. Manzella goes the opposite way. Consecutive 2-out singles bring Quintero to the plate.
If the Astros get a little work done here at the bottom of the order, just keep the line moving. Try to get Shassin another at bat, I think, would be the rally cry in the Astros dugout. Load him up for Gustavo.
Yeah. Quintero grounded out to second in the 2nd inning. Shassin comes out to the on-deck circle. That's 5 hits for the Astros, 4 for the Nationals. But the big one, the bases loaded double by Adam Dunn. Breaking the 1-1 tie. Breaking ball right there to hit, and he fouls it back. Strike 1.
Talked about Solano earlier being better against lefties than righties. His slider, the pitch that he uses to try to beat righties down and away, not as good as his sinker changeup combination. So, and those pitches are a little dicey to throw to right-handed hitters. They move into the swing a little bit. So even though he's a right-handed pitcher, you can understand where a manager might load his lineup with right-handed bats against him.
Mm-hmm.
You're killing me, Gustavo.
Popped up. Infielders converging.
This is going to be fun.
Zimmerman.
Trust the man with the gold glove.
No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Yogi Berra, another of those who served his country in World War II. brought to you by Quick Creek. It's what America's made of. By your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. By AT HOU, rethink possible. And by Gullo Ford and Gullo Toyota, who bring you the fifth inning. YMCA between innings. Now we go to the fifth inning in this 4-2 game, and it's Niger Morgan to lead it off. Morgan dropped down a sac bunt in the first. He singled a right in the third. Shassin delivers, and it's ball one. Brian Moeller will start the Thursday afternoon game here against the Nationals. Astros going with a 13-man pitching staff for now. 2 balls, no strikes. It's looking to be a very wise decision. Bunted in the air into shallow right field, and Morgan has a pop fly bunt single. That's a little crazy.
You know, there's nothing about his reaction that makes you think he was trying to do anything but this. Because he's not just dragging it, he's popping that top hand. So it looks to me like that's exactly what he's trying to do. Just punch it over the infield. And you see, that wasn't a drag bunt. That's kind of like a fast pitch softball kind of play.
Yeah.
And he's almost out. If he's out of the batter's box when he makes contact, he's out. That was pretty clever.
Ryan Zimmerman batting now. He has a sac fly and a walk. There's ball one to him. Cubs lead the Pirates 1-0 at Pittsburgh, bottom of the 6th inning. Randy Wells back on the mound after being shelled the other day. And pitching very well. Shutout ball through 5 against Ross Ohlendorf.
You know, Tony Fernandez used to be very good at that slug bunt. We just kind of chop it on the ground to short. And maybe that's what he was thinking, just trying to chop it out towards second base. Mm-hmm. But if that were the case, you would expect to see some kind of a reaction, some kind of a look on his face, with, or, you know, some acknowledgement with the first base coach, Dave Radisson. Like, yeah, I got away with one there, didn't I? And just kind of went down there and said, yeah, that's kind of what I was had in mind.
Grounded foul, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Niger, speedy guy, but he has not been an effective base stealer this year. Coming into this game, 9 steals, caught 8 times. Got that bag back in the third. For the most part, recently, he's been struggling in all facets of the game. Hasn't been getting on. Hasn't been running effectively. He struggled some in the outfield. He's having a good day today.
Two and 1 to Zimmerman.
You're just not going to get that pitch called. You're better off, I think, with Billy Hahn back there today. You're better off taking your shots in the strike zone early, as opposed to trying to nibble and then falling behind and then having to come in. But just go ahead and throw it in there early and hope for the best.
Cincinnati and St. Louis have a late afternoon start in St. Louis. Bronson Arroyo to go for the Reds against Jaime Garcia for St. Louis. In a battle involving the first place Reds and second place Cardinals. He's watching Shassin step. He might be flirting with a balk call the way he's stepping when he throws to first base.
Yeah, from our angle, that last one looked a little sketchy.
Now 3-1 to Zimmerman.
Pitcher, when he delivers, or when he throws to first base, he has to step on a line towards the bag. It's kind of on a 45. And of course, if he comes on the home base side of it, that's a balk. And over here, he's fine. I'm beating on this thing. There we go. Etch a sketch isn't working properly.
Ball 4. Zimmerman's on. 2 men on, nobody out. That's the 4th walk of the day for the Astros pitching staff, and Dunn will be coming up next.
Ed Dunn, the guy who cleared the bases with a double in his last at-bat, led to all the trouble with Roy being ejected by Billy Hahn. Mills and Arnsberg confer. Nobody throwing in the Astros pen. A couple of guys up doing a little stretching.
Well, Chris Sampson's had a few days off. He had some treatment, and he's fine to go again. Dunn struck out in the first inning, and then on that 3-2 pitch, cleared the bases with the double to right center field. There's ball 1 to him.
The pace of the game certainly changes when Roy Oswalt's out of there, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
And I made that mention of Atalano working quickly. That's the thing. As a coach, you can take advantage sometimes of the opposition. You can tell, if you're the Nationals and Oswalt's out there pitching, you can tell your guys, this is a pretty good guy to follow, the way he approaches the game, the way he gets after it when he's on the mound.
Carlos Lee moves in for the fly ball. Morgan will tag at second. It's a short throw, though, to third base. 1 out.
I remember talking to managers a few years back, and they would oftentimes make that point when they came to Houston. They'd tell their guys, watch that other dugout, watch Bagwell and Biggio, the way they approach the game. And if you mimic those guys, you're going to be doing okay.
Well, we'll see Jeff again Saturday night, won't we?
As far as I know.
And he's headed for the draft on Monday to represent the Astros in New Jersey. Josh Willingham has struck out in the second inning and walked in the third.
Dangerous matchup here. Dangerous for Pat Listach.
Yeah. Why do you say that?
Well, because Shashin's a guy who's not a real hard thrower. We've got a tight strike zone. Willingham, a guy who can, go out and take that fastball and yank it into those Crawford boxes. He's got a quick bat. He's got great strike zone judgment. There's just a lot of things about this confrontation that if I'm Brad Mills, I'm a little bit nervous.
Jeff Fulcino's warming up for Houston. Morgan that time sensed that the turn move was going to happen towards second. Well, this would be a time to think about stealing third, but I really don't see it with Willingham at the plate as hot as he's been.
Yeah, and Morgan may or may not have a green light, so maybe a situation where you put a stop on it. So let's not take any gambles here. Let's trust we got the upper hand, and well, he's going.
He's going. And the throw. He's safe. Looked like the ball had gotten there, but it was called safe by Paul Emmel. Well, it worked for him.
It's a shorter throw, but third base maybe a little bit easier to steal. One, pitchers rarely use a slide step when they run on second base. They're not thinking so much of combating that stolen base. Looked like they got it right. It was close. The hand got in just before the tag was applied. Willingham standing erect in the batter's box, trying to make it difficult for Q to make that throw out around him.
Second steal today for Morgan. He stole second and scored in the third inning. Strike call there, 1-2.
Okay, so that's where it is.
Okay. Now, Zimmerman was not going. So the double play remains in order after the steal of third. Looped into right center field, and that is in for an RBI hit. Morgan scores to make it 5-2 on the RBI single by Willingham. His 35th run batted in.
Change the approach with 2 strikes. Just punch the ball the other way. Shassin, he's thrown the ball okay. If you think about the hits in this inning, Morgan with the drag bunt pop-up single, and then this little soft piece in the shallow right center.
Willie Harris has walked and popped a short. Michael Bourne in position. 2 outs.
A lot of outs in the air when Shassin's on the mound. He's a high ball pitcher, gets a lot of fly balls.
Ian Desmond is struck out looking and hit a fly ball to center. Battle of fleet-footed center fielders here with Morgan and Bourne playing today.
Ian Desmond's first 2 games had 6 hits and 4 RBIs. Went 4 for 4 his second day in the big leagues. The only other major leaguer to do that, the great Guy Sturdy.
Guy Sturdy?
Yep.
When did he play?
Oh, it sounds like a character from the Flintstones or something. But I am Guy Sturdy.
No. Ball 1 to Ian Desmond.
Look him up here.
Guy Sturdy.
Sturdy. He played for the Browns.
Okay.
In 27 and 28.
How do we miss him? Foul back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nationals have done a pretty nice job of bringing talent through their minor league system and up to the big leagues, including this player.
Well, yeah, you know, this guy, Zimmerman, now you got Strasburg on the horizon. Storn, who's now in the bullpen, who's a high ceiling reliever, got a big arm. We're going to get the first pick in this year's draft. So Bryce Harper, the phenom. We talk about hype for Strasburg. For Bryce Harper, it's been going on since he was about a 10th grader.
Yeah. Ground ball in the hole. Feliz tag. No, he missed the tag, and he throws to first to get the out there. So it's 1 run, 2 hits, 2 men left in the middle of the 5th inning. It is 5-2 Nationals.
One game from each of the hottest summer weekend series against the Cubs, Rangers, and Cardinals. Purchase by tomorrow and receive a 4th game free on July 24th against the Reds. Plans start at just $21. Visit Astros.com today, guys.
Thanks, Patty. Corey Sullivan is pinch hitting after the packet race that you've seen here on the field. And he's batting for Shassin. He just took ball one. And now it's a 1-ball-1-strike count to Corey in this 5-2 game as he tries to get something started off the bench. Hitting 182 for 44 at-bats with 4 runs batted in. Rolled out to second. Guzman takes care of the first out for Atalano.
Imagine Brad was tempted to let Shashin swing the bat there.
Yeah.
He's got a short bench because of the 13 pitchers, only 4 bench players available. So Sullivan's gone. That leaves Blum, Jason Michaels, and Kevin Cash. But I think the thinking here is, well, you've got the top of the order coming up. You're in the middle innings. You're only going to have this opportunity a couple more times in the game. And even though Shashin did go deep last time, Sullivan's got a better chance of getting something done.
Bourne shows bunt, takes ball one. He walked and scored in the first, grounded out in the third. Shassin in 2 2/3 innings allowed 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, no strikeouts. It's a 1-1 count. The Houston pitcher has never hit a grand slam or had a 2-home run game. He certainly provided excitement with that home run in the 3rd inning. 1-2. Keppinger on deck. And now it's 2-2. Shassin keeping his club in the game. But the Nats were able to score in the 5th inning. Now it's about Atalano and how long he might stay in. He's gone as many as 6 innings. He's done that twice. Slap to third. Zimmerman nips him at first. 2 outs.
Pretty slick down there.
Yeah, he's very good.
See where Lou Piniella has benched Ryan Terrio.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Not playing today, and Lou implying that it could be more of a long-term thing. No guarantee he's going to be back out there. Didn't realize he'd fallen off so dramatically.
Well, he was playing second base every day. They brought up Castro. So who's playing second now?
Fontenot's going to get his turn now.
Okay. Ball 1 to Keppinger. Jeff 1 for 2.
Congratulations to Andrew Kashner from Conroe, former first-round pick of the Cubs. He got called up today. Joined their bullpen. John Grabo went on the disabled list. The timing couldn't be better for him. The Cubs coming to town this weekend.
Nice little reunion for him.
That phone's been ringing and tickets promised.
Pulled on a line and caught by Zimmerman. Very quickly sliding to his right to Rob Keppinger. After 5, it's 5-2 Nationals. Wireless, bringing in Jeff Fulcino.
Got 8-9-1 due up here for the Nationals. Pretty good shape to post to 0. The whole thing about Shassin, everything about that looked legit. The swing, the home run trot, it looked like he'd been there before.
Yeah. Very impressive stuff. It's kind of like the Niger Morgan bunt single. Looked like he did exactly what he thought he was going to do.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike. Fulcino gave up a run in 1 1/3 innings Saturday night in Cincinnati. Gave up 3 runs in 1/3 of an inning Friday night there. Trying to get back on track here. 1-2. He's been throwing in the mid-90s, as that pitch was at 95. And he did have some buzzards luck to some of those hitters in that Cincinnati series. His ERA is 5.68. Ryan Zimmerman has been involved in 8 plays already through 5 innings. Freddie Sanchez was involved in 11 plays against the Astros in that game at Boston in 03. Feliz. 1 out.
Well, that's good pitching if you get him to hit it to Ryan Zimmerman.
It really is. It's very precise work on the mound. Atalano is 0 for 2. Well, a very nice substitute for Jason Marquis in this rotation. He could be 5-1 by the end of the day. 2-hopper there to Feliz. Atalano has the best record at 4-1 by a pitcher with an ERA above 4.5 this year. He's been in the right spot when they've scored some runs.
The anti-Oswalt.
Yeah.
Anti-Paulino.
Guzman is 2 for 3, and he scored twice. Well, that run support is everything in terms of winning. And usually the 20-game winners are the guys who are ranking pretty high in run support among starting pitchers.
Good matchup in San Francisco tonight. Ubaldo Jimenez and Tim Lincecum.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Lincecum's been a little wobbly the last couple times out. He actually didn't throw the ball that well in that start against the Astros that Saturday afternoon game. He didn't have good velocity. He was working from behind. Two starts since then, he's got hit around a little bit.
Did you hear that intrigue when he was doing the interview with the writers after his last start?
I did not.
Good action upstairs on that for Fulcino. Apparently he kept his hand in his jacket pocket. They thought that he might have had a split fingernail or some problem with his hand that he did not want to show anybody. 2-1.
He's walked 5 men in each of his last 3 starts. He's allowed 11 runs combined in his last 2 starts. It's un-Lincecum-like.
Yes, it is. Another pitch works upstairs. I don't know if Guzzi can hit that pitch at 95.
No, he'll try, though. It's nose to toes. He's not real scientific. See it and hit it.
Well, maybe another one right there.
Yeah, and take another shot up there.
Strike 3. Good inning for Fulcino. 1-2-3 at the top of the 6th inning. 5-2 Nationals and Bob Feller. Very patriotic aboard the USS Alabama. 5-2 Nationals. Lance Berkman, the batter. And he gets ball one. Opening the bottom of the 6th inning. He struck out looking and fouled out to third. Against the 25-year-old righty Luis Atalano. It's 2-0. Berkman in that number 3 spot, and Brad Mills likes the way he's reaching base. He has a .358 on base average. Three balls, no strikes. Atalano had walked 19 in 37 1/3 innings coming into this game today. He's walked only one today. Michael Bourne leading off the Astros first. Enrique and Brad Mills talk over the situation. Well, that's a 4-pitch walk for Berkman. Atalano looked down at his footing after delivering that pitch.
Certainly a situation where it didn't make sense to be cautious, but that's what it looked like. Last time out, he didn't walk anybody against the Giants, allowed 2 runs in 5 in the 3rd. He got hit hard in his previous start.
Riggleman's making the move out to the mound. Just a few pitches into the 6th inning with bullpen action going for the Nationals.
It's more of a strategy conversation, I think, than anything. He calls Adam Dunn over from first base. Wanted to talk to the infielders about how they're going to position for Carlos, I guess.
Hard throwing Drew Storen gets a little additional time to get loose. He has brought a power arm to that Washington bullpen. Carlos Lee with an RBI single up the middle in the 1st is 1 for 2. And he's taking ball one. Hunter Pence on deck. .75 pitches for Atalano, who's 3-0 on the road with a 2.91 ERA.
I'm willing to throw it in there right now, and he's pitching as if he has a 1-run lead. That pitches way out of this ball game if he doesn't come back and get Carlos here.
Two and one. He jammed him on that one, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Carlos Lee. Atlanta leads the Phillies 9-3. Atlanta, bottom of the 8th inning. Brad Lidge in the game for the Phils.
He was just activated today.
Line foul. The Phillies are showing some vulnerability, certainly. With that race in the NL East being so tight, 4 games from top to bottom in that division, it could get interesting for a while. Jimmy Rollins is out again with another calf injury. Foul back.
The Braves playing the best baseball in the division right now, maybe the best in the National League. Winners of 8 of their last 10 coming into play today. It's a fun division to keep an eye on. The Nationals the only team below 500. They're just a game below.
Popped up. Adam Dunn. 1 out. We go to Patty Smith.
Well, guys, I know you've been honoring some of our military heroes throughout the course of the game, and I want to give a shout-out to some of the guys on staff, since Bill Brown, you are one of them, from the U.S. Army. Bill Brown, Greg Lucas, and Roger McNally. The U.S. Air Force, Wave Robinson, our producer in the truck. Utility guys, Richard Martinez and Joe Hornberger. U.S. Navy, Chris Stevens on graphics, and Kim Elston, our high third cameraman. And in the Marines, Ruben Vela, the driver of our truck. Thank you to all of you. And we just want to just show our appreciation for all of our former military and current serving in the military. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Patty. Hunter Pence hit the fly ball to center for out number 2. Now it's Pedro Feliz. Feliz 1 for 2. He had a nice line drive single to right center in the 4th inning.
I was a Cub Scout.
Were you?
Yeah. Rose to the Wolf Pack.
Yeah.
Never quite made it to Weeblo.
Weeblo's a big step. There's ball 1. Certainly something to celebrate.
Yeah. You think you had a tough drill sergeant. A den mother, man.
Oh.
We'll wipe your shoes when you come in my house, young man.
1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, that's a place to learn some discipline. Upstairs, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Well, the Astros routinely meet with some military veterans, usually on Sundays here at the ballpark. And it's been a nice program to bring them out to the games. And players go overseas during the winter months usually. 3 balls and a strike.
Ball on the plate. Looked like it was high enough. Billy Hahn, awfully tight strike zone here today. A lot of hitters count. So here's one for Pedro. See if Atalanta will challenge him and turn this ball game around right here with 1 swing of the bat. That's what he had in mind. Got it started early, but the fastball ran in on him and just shattered his bat. Would have been ball 4.
He turned that bat around.
Yeah, thinking, nothing wrong with thinking there 3-1 to try to cheat on one, jerk one out of here down 3 runs. Atalanta just had real good movement and was able to get in on his hands and crack his bat. And he's still got a strike to play with. What's the organization that's kind of doing the hats today?
Welcome Home Veterans. Very good organization. I think that is just a terrific effort to help people who are having problems coming back from overseas. Might be some counseling needed or various other services. 3-2, 2 outs. Berkman's going. Fly ball hit to left center field. Willingham is backing on it with the catch. To end the 6th inning with no runs, no hits, and a man stranded. 5-2 Nationals. And JD had asked about the Welcome Back Veterans Organization. It's a program which addresses the needs of returning American veterans and their families with the support of Major League Baseball and its clubs. Welcome Back Veterans, since 2008, has awarded $8.3 million in grants to 30 nonprofit agencies across the country, targeting veterans' greatest needs, including mental health and job training and placements. That's the organization. You can find out more about it at welcomebackveterans.org. And you can buy one of these caps the teams are wearing today. All the Major League clubs are wearing them at MLB.com. And some of the proceeds also will be donated to that Welcome Back Veterans organization from the sale of the caps. Jeff Fulcino wearing that Astros patriotic red, white, and blue cap. And he had a 1-2-3 sixth inning. Our video game summary is brought to you by BBVA, built for success. Showing you Roy Oswalt and the sac fly by Ryan Zimmerman. And Carlos Lee ties the game. Single in the first inning. And then a 3-run double by Adam Dunn. And the ejection of Roy Oswalt, pitching to Josh Willingham after that. Shassin with a homer in the third. And then the Nationals get another run on the Willingham single in the fifth inning.
The story of this game, of course, the ejection of Roy Oswalt. And that last clip we showed, we saw Roy, and he was saying, "I'm not talking to you." I mean, obviously, Roy was frustrated with Billy Hahn and expressing so with his body language. And Hahn heard it from the Astros dugout. He had been hearing it a little bit from the Nationals, from the catchers, from everybody involved. And I didn't think he overreacted, especially with the starting pitcher.
Yeah,
such an important piece of the puzzle here. And it's not like Roy was up one side and down the other cussing at him.
No. Nyjer Morgan leads it off in the seventh inning. He's 2 for 2 with a sac bunt and a stolen couple of bases. He takes ball one, and the same comments apply to this situation probably that Ozzie Guillen made regarding Joe West. Well, fans really don't pay to see umpires. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
Except for Ron Luciano.
Well, yeah, he was pretty entertaining.
And Leslie Nielsen and the Naked Gun. Moonwalk,
yeah, that was great stuff. 3 balls, no strikes now. Fulcino losing the range on Morgan with Zimmerman and Dunn to follow.
You know, colorful, controversial umpires, part of the lore of the game, the history of the game. There's been a number of great characters. So there's nothing wrong with having a little personality out there.
No, not at all.
But there's got to be a little thick skin. If there's going to be that give and take between the umpire and the players and the manager, if you're going to be a bit of a showboat out there, somebody who draws attention to yourself, then you should be able to be willing to take a little heat, more so than the average man in blue.
Ryan Zimmerman, after that sac fly, has walked twice. That was the 5th walk of the game there. Fulcino with a throw over to first.
Morgan, who had really been struggling, doing everything right today.
Astros pitchers have walked 5. Nationals pitchers have walked 2.
I can't believe he's not stepping out on him.
And now he does.
Wow. Fulcino holding that ball a good long while, trying to deaden the legs of Nyjer Morgan over there at first base. At that point, everybody gets paralyzed. Base runner, the hitter, the pitcher. It's hard to make a pitch after you've held it that long.
Zimmerman hits it foul to Pat Listash. Hey, all right. Good souvenir for a young lady. Strike 1 to Zimmerman with Dunn on deck. And the throw goes over on Morgan. Morgan with 2 steals today. He stole second in the 3rd inning and stole 3rd in the 5th. He scored after both of those stolen bases. He now has 11 for the season. Pretty close there. Darling with a safe call. Morgan stole 42 bases last year in 59 attempts. Foul back, and it's no balls, 2 strikes to Zimmerman. Zimmerman had another 2 home run game earlier this season against the Rockies, and then followed that up with 2 more yesterday in San Diego. The game against the Rockies, he drove in 6 runs. He missed about a week with a right hamstring injury. Snap throw to first, and Morgan's back. 1-2. Zimmerman's first full season was 2006. He drove in 110 runs that year. He's been a very good, steady run producer as a major leaguer. Well, Fulcino wanted that call. He didn't get it. It's 2-2.
Obviously, you want to pay attention to a base runner like Morgan. And you're down 3 runs. Can ill afford to give up another one. And Jeff working awfully hard, throwing over, taking a lot of time between pitches, holding the ball on him. But you can see how it affects the body language of the position players behind him. I've been keeping an eye on it. There's a lot of slumped shoulders, hands on hips. Kind of takes everybody out of the game a little bit.
Line to right center field. And Michael Bourne tries to stop it and does. Throws off balance back toward the infield. Great play to prevent a run from scoring. Pat Lichstash stopping Morgan at third with nobody out. Bourne got rid of that ball very quickly. He had to head straight back toward that Reliant Energy sign and then whirl and throw on a double by Zimmerman.
If he doesn't flag it down, it's a triple and a run scored. And as it is, the Astros are going to be in a tough spot here trying to prevent these runs. Second and third, nobody out, but a great play by Bourne tracking this down and then quickly getting that ball back in towards the infield.
Now 2 men in scoring position for Adam Dunn, who ripped a 3-run double in the third. He's 1 for 3. 34,704 the paid attendance. The umpire at third, Paul Emmel, indicating Dunn checking his swing on ball 1. A little slow roller with Morgan coming home. Berkman looks and nobody covering first. And it's 6-2 Washington. An infield hit for Adam Dunn, giving him a 4 RBI game, 27 for the year.
One of the cheapest RBIs he's ever going to get. A little slow roller. Let's see it here. Lance coming hard, thinking maybe he's got a chance to make a play at first base. Fulcino has to pull up to give Lance a shot to make a throw home if he wants to, so he's not able to get over to first in cover. No way Keppinger was going to get there.
Now Willingham with ball 1. He had the RBI single in the 5th inning after a walk earlier.
One of those plays you don't get an out and it looks bad, but there really wasn't much anybody could do.
No. Infielders are in close. It's 2-0. Zimmerman, the runner at third base. And it's done across the diamond. Nationals media folks saying that they really haven't gotten their 3, 4, 5 hitters hot at the same time this year.
Please.
Yeah. 2-1. Well, looking at those RBI numbers, they look pretty good. Not phenomenal, but not horrible either. Jim Riggleman's club has been pretty feisty, gaining respect around the league. It's 3-1. Well, they spent a little over $15 million to sign Strasburg. They signed him just before the deadline for signing last August. But Drew Storen, who was warming up a few minutes ago, was playing professional baseball all last summer after he was drafted in the June draft. Upstairs for a walk to Willingham, and the bases are loaded.
No surprise there. Willingham came into the game tied for the league lead in walks. Very patient hitter. Latino trying to get him to chase that high fastball, and he would have none of it. Still nobody out. Chris Sampson starting to crank it up in the Astros bullpen.
Willie Harris is 0 for 2 with a walk. Here's ball 1. Looking at Bruce Dreckman, the second base umpire. He's standing behind Manzella. One ball, one strike. Infielders are in close, so he wants to get out of their way.
It looks like Dreckman's playing short.
It does. 1-2.
He's probably out there fantasizing right now.
Well, let's see. I got to go home here.
Hit me one hopper and I'll turn a double play.
Wouldn't that be wild? The umpire made a play on a ball. Foul ball, and it's still 1-2 to Harris with Desmond on deck. Good crowd today. 34,704 tickets sold for this Memorial Day game. A lot of folks will be headed out to do some barbecuing, maybe a picnic somewhere. Harris is down on strikes. Number 2 for Fulcino.
A good split finger pitch there. Finish off Harris. And middle infielders will back up to double play depth.
He had some nice movement on that. It was a big pitch for him last year as the season evolved. Desmond has struck out, hit a fly ball to center and grounded to third. Strike 1 to him. He's coming in for pretty high reviews for his work so far here after just 82 major league at bats last year. He's in tight, and it's 1-1.
As long and laborious as this inning has been, double play, get out of here with just 1 run allowed.
That would be a disappointment to the Nationals. On the corner, it's 1-2. Not that it would prove anything, but we'll have to wait until the end of this game and see what the percentage is of strikes thrown of the total pitches.
I'm going to guess it's going to be a pretty low ratio, Brownie.
Yeah. Roll to third base. Feliz, that's off his foot. He's hobbling around at home plate.
That's the key. You got to hobble. So we had that play on the road trip where Paulino hit the ball off his foot, but he ran down the baseline.
Yeah.
The umpire had no visual cue.
Oh, yeah. Off the toes. He really gets his legs into his swing. That little fella's unhappy about something.
Mark it on your bingo card. Crying child. We'll start a new game up here. We're going to call it baseball bingo, and you're going to have to identify different things in the ballpark. Crying child.
Line to right field, and that's in for a hit. Scoring Zimmerman, and Dunn's coming home. And the throw hits the runner at first base and gets away. Now throw to second base. And a fan is running on to the outfield. There's all kinds of stuff happening here. He ran up Tal's Hill and he's trying to climb over the fence. But that's not going to go well.
There's
nowhere to go there.
No escape hatch.
Yeah, he's trapped. He will soon be cooling his heels in the local brig. So Desmond winds up with a couple of runs batted in on it, and it's 8-2.
After that guy in Philly got tased not too long ago, I can't imagine anybody wanted to run out of field.
No.
I wouldn't want to invite that kind of pain. Here's the base hit that scores two, so it does turn out to be a big inning for the Nationals. And the throw kicks off the base runner there, and everybody's able to move up one more.
That's going to be an error for Hunter Pence with that throw, allowing the runners to move up. That'll be his third error of the year. And a 2-run single by Desmond, giving him 27 runs batted in. And with the score 8-2 Washington, we have a pitching change. Chris Sampson coming in, back in a moment. By Clear Super Fast Mobile Internet. By Capital One Bank, what's in your wallet? By Chevy, proud to support youth baseball programs in your community. And by Fred Loya, where being local matters. We go to Greg Lucas.
Thanks a lot, Brownie. While you watch in the background Chris Sampson warm up, a reminder that we always accept emails, and especially interested in those questions that you may have that we can recycle and use on our Wednesday email with Brownie and JD in the pregame show. They're always answered, and some of them are forwarded to whoever may be more particularly involved. And all you got to do is go to foxsportshouston.com. That's the website. And click on. That's the easiest way to do it. Very simple. We want to hear from you. We're checking them. Not exactly 24/7. We check them a lot. Let's go back to the game.
Chris Sampson in. Maldonado the batter. He grounds one foul, third base side. Strike one.
Chris missing a little bit of a tender arm, has not been out there in a while for the season. He's worked 21 times, no wins, no losses, an ERA of 4.66. Struck out 9, walked 7 and 19 in the third innings. This game is all about keeping that ball down, getting ground balls.
His last outing Tuesday in Milwaukee. It's 0-2. He gave up 4 hits and 4 runs in 1/3 of an inning in that game, and the previous outing here at home, 3 runs in 1 inning. But his ERA in those 2 outings jumped up from 1.50 to 4.66. One and 2.
Runners on second and third belong to Jeff Fulcino.
Foul ball keeps the count at 1 ball, 2 strikes. The big first-year player draft is coming up a week from Monday. Jeff Bagwell will represent the Astros, among others. Everett Stoll will be there. Rolled up the line at first, foul. Hall of Famers Tommy Lasorda, Jim Rice, Frank Robinson, and Billy Williams are among those who will be in attendance. The coverage will begin at 6 o'clock Eastern Time on Monday, June 7th. Astros deep in preparation for that. They have 5 of the top 90 picks. To left field near the line. And that one makes it in. It's a 3-run homer for Maldonado. And this 7th inning is a huge one for Jim Riggleman's club.
The Nationals have been struggling a little bit offensively, started to break out a little bit, but the perfect storm here of a tight strike zone. There's some good at bats and some sloppy pitches. This is a slider. That's what Chris got into trouble last time. This slider just kind of hovering in the strike zone. Not a lot of movement on it. Maldonado able to whack it off the foul pole.
Foul by Atalano, strike 1. He's 0 for 3. Maldonado gets the first long ball of the day for the Nationals. His first of the year. No balls, 2 strikes. Fulcino in 1 1/3 innings allows 3 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts.
Now Jim Riggleman in a position where he can rest his bullpen. Buy an extra day for Clippard, who threw a lot yesterday. I'm not sure what Cap's status is. He worked yesterday, but only threw 4 or 5 pitches.
It's a 3rd major league homer for Maldonado. You see the Houston bullpen. 2 outs in the inning, and it's Guzman. Guzman 2 for 4. Nationals lost in extra innings yesterday at San Diego. They dropped 2 of 3 there. Ball 1 to Guzman as they bat around here in the 7th inning. And they ran into that very good Padre pitching staff. Career high 3 RBIs for Maldonado as that one goes back through into center field for the 3rd hit for Guzman.
Felipe Paulino pitched an outstanding ball game for the Astros yesterday, held that Cincinnati Reds team down, but this is the 3rd time in the last 4 games where they've been blown out. 27 runs by the Reds in the first 2 games of that weekend series.
Nyjer Morgan has been on 3 times, has scored 3 runs. Strike to Morgan. Batting for the 2nd time in the inning. He walked and scored earlier. It's 1-1 to him. It's Ryan Zimmerman waiting.
For a boxing match, you can throw in the towel. The group will come back and get him tomorrow.
Well, that's what makes it tough about managing a baseball team, which is going like this. It's trying to keep relievers rested for the next day.
I saw Kevin Cash pitch in Cincinnati the other night. You might see him again today.
You might. You'll probably be talking to somebody about that. 3-1. Wesley Wright went 4 innings on Saturday. Might be a little much to ask him to pitch again today. He's been starting. 3-2.
So close the book on Jeff Fulcino. An inning in the third, 3 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts.
Line to left, and that will be a hit in front of Carlos Lee. Morgan is on for the 4th straight time. The 6-run inning continues. That's hit number 6. And Zimmerman doubled to right center after 2 walks for Zimmerman. Cincinnati is scoring in the top of the 1st at St. Louis. 2 runners home already for the Reds. That's strike 1. Be interesting to watch that series between the Reds and Cardinals. They've already played each other 9 times.
The Reds catch a break and they'll miss Adam Wainwright. He pitched yesterday.
One and one. Reds with a 1-game lead.
Sleeping Child, put that on your bingo card.
1-2. Albert Pujols hit 3 homers yesterday to warm up for this series with Cincinnati. That was his 4th career 3-home-run game.
Fanning Woman, is that on the bingo card? I don't have Fanning Woman on my card. I do have Crying Child and Sleeping Child.
Well, Jaime Garcia brought an ERA of 1.14 into that start today for St. Louis. He's given up 2 in the 1st.
Distracted Child.
Fly ball right center. Hunter Pence watching this one soar, and that's into the bullpen. 3-run homer for Zimmerman. Number 11 of the year for him after a 2-home-run day yesterday. 14-2.
Well, I don't know. There's probably not a better third baseman in the National League. Some good ones, but this guy, the combination, what he does with the glove and with the bat, pretty special young player.
2 home runs in the inning for the Nats. Dunn looks at ball 1 in tight.
David Wright's good. Kung Fu Panda's good.
Now Brad Arnsberg goes out. Been a rough few days for the Astros ERAs. Tim Burdach's warming up. In the first 2 games, Friday and Saturday at Cincinnati, the Astros allowed 27 runs on 37 hits. Then they pitched a 10-inning shutout yesterday. Now the Nationals pile on with 14 runs on 13 hits so far. It's 2-0. I think we've gone back more to individual strike zones for umpires now without Questek this year. Hit to second base. And a 9-run 7th inning puts the Nationals way in front, 14-2, as the fans will rise and sing "God Bless America."
For the playing of "God Bless America."
God bless America.
Here's today's Energy Insight, brought to you by Centerpoint Energy. Roy Oswalt ejected in the 3rd inning, and he had just allowed a 3-run double to Adam Dunn. And then Willingham was at the plate, and he was tossed out of the game after some remarks to Bill Hahn. And as a result, Gustavo Shassin came in. He had his first career homer. Washington just erupted for 9 runs on 7 hits, with 12 batters coming to the plate in the top of the inning. And now Tommy Manzella with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Of the 237 pitches thrown before this half inning, 97 had been balls.
And what really strikes you, that's a Roy Oswalt start. Of course, Roy out of this game in a hurry. But, a typical game of Roy, there's a whole lot of strikes and not many balls. Hahn, just a real tight strike zone.
Adam Kennedy's the first baseman now. Adam Dunn takes a seat after driving in 4 runs in a 2-for-5 day. 2-2 to Manzella. He bounces one, and there's the play for Guzman. 1-out. Tyler Walker warming up in the bullpen for the Nationals. Quintero the batter. Quintero's 0-for-2. Walker warming up this Nationals club after struggling to score runs against that fine San Diego staff. And before that, the San Francisco pitching staff has really blown it open at 14-2 today.
So, barring a miraculous comeback by the Astros here, Aptolano's going to do exactly what you talked about earlier. He's going to knock off Tim Lincecum and Roy Oswalt back-to-back starts.
Maybe a feather in his cap.
Now, of course, the Giants and the Astros near the bottom of the league. Astros dead last in the league in runs scored, and the Giants' offense hasn't been much better either. He's facing the hitters, not the opposing pitcher, but still, as a young pitcher, it's nice to be able to say, yeah, I went toe-to-toe with those two guys and picked up W's.
And a win today would leave him 5-1. Jason Michaels on deck. That bouncer goes foul. Pitcher spot coming up next for the Astros. Let's see. Tyler Clippard leaves the Nationals in wins. He has 7. He's a reliever. Levon Hernandez is 1-4. And Tolano shooting for win number 5. Popped up. Desmond, 2 outs.
Now it's time to announce the Text.Click It or Ticket Photo Sweepstakes for the week. Joan Reck is our winner this week. Congratulations. You'll receive the Fox Sports prize package as this week's Click It or Ticket winner presented by TextDot. Log on to foxsportshouston.com for your chance to be next week's Click It or Ticket fan photo sweepstakes winner. Just take a picture of you or a friend wearing your seatbelt, and you got a chance to win a tremendous prize package.
Jason Michaels is hit by the pitch as he pinch hits for Sampson.
The Astros have been doing a lot of losing this year, no doubt about that, but they haven't been blown out that often. This recent trend is ugly for sure, but has not been the norm by any means. That's the case all over baseball. Pitching has really been good this year. There are currently 27 pitchers, starting pitchers, in Major League Baseball with ERAs below 3.
Michael Bourne shoots one to right center field, and that is a gapper. Michaels heads for third. Dave Clark will send him home. Bourne is going to have an easy triple and an RBI to make it 14-3. First triple for Bourne. His 8th run batted in.
Lopsided game. Fair number of folks have left, but those that stay have something to cheer about. That's Michael Bourne running around the bases. That's always fun.
Jeff Keppinger is 1 for 3. Lined out to Zimmerman last time up. It's ball 1 to him. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Oakland got 2 in the first at Detroit and leads the Tigers 2-0. Bottom of the 3rd. Colorado got 2 in the top of the 2nd at San Francisco. Ubaldo Jimenez on the mound with that 2-0 lead.
Well, it's over then.
You talked about that.
Yeah, him against that Giant club.
Yeah.
He's got a 0.87 ERA.
Broken bat looper. Picked up by Kennedy. No, dropped by Kennedy. And Bourne scores.
Oh, my.
14-4.
To play right in front of him. Maybe peeked to find the base runner. And by the time he found the ball, it's too late. I mean, that was a Phil Mickelson lob wedge there. A little backspin on it, checked up nicely.
An error on Kennedy, and that'll prompt a pitching change here. Looks like a double switch for Jim Riggleman. He's bringing a player off the bench and a pitcher in at the same time. Looks like we'll get a new third baseman in the game, and the score is 14-4. Washington. Back in a moment.
there's no school. There's plenty of sweet treats. And now there's Tyler Walker for the 18th time this year for the Washington Nationals. 1-0 with a 4.44 ERA. Strikeout walk numbers very good. Home runs, it kind of jumps out at you. 5 home runs allowed in 24 1/3 innings. So he's hitting .298 against him. Hard throwing right-hander. Formerly with the Phillies, Giants, Tampa Bay. Came up with the Mets. Just a cup of coffee back in 02. Seen him most frequently with the Giants.
Keppinger takes off at second on the first pitch. There's no attempt made to stop him. And Berkman takes that pitch. And Keppinger moving over. And the fielder's indifference.
Do you score that FI in your book?
Yeah.
Make a designation.
2 balls, no strikes.
So if you're going to keep score properly in your scorebook, you got to account for every base.
Yeah, that's right. Keppinger move with 2 outs in the inning and the score 14-4. Berkman with a drive sends Nigel Morgan back to left center for the final out. And the Astros in the 7th inning scored 2 runs on 1 hit with an error and a man left. It's 14-4 Nationals. Washington leading, and we have changes for the Astros. Moving to the 8th inning, Jason Michaels stays in to play center field after pinch hitting. He was hit by a pitch and scored a run. Michael Bourne leaving the game, and he had an RBI triple and a walk, scored twice. Tim Burdack comes out of the bullpen. He's 1-0 with a 7.36 ERA.
Tim spending time on the disabled list, has not had a whole lot of work recently. Overall 14 games, 1-0, 7.36 that ERA. So I'm looking to whittle away at that. Hopefully he'll confront some rather disinterested hitters at this stage of the game.
Michael Bourne gets a couple of innings off. And it's Josh Willingham batting. Willingham has walked twice and hit an RBI single. Here's ball 1. Chris Sampson in 2/3 of an inning allowed 4 hits, 4 runs with no walks, 1 strikeout. Luis Atalano went 6 2/3. He gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. He walked 2 and fanned 1. Also hit a batter. It's 2-0 for Burdack.
See, that's all.
Yeah. Give a kid an inexpensive toy and just leave him alone for a while. They'll take care of it. 2 balls and a strike.
You know, we were talking last inning about Ubaldo Jimenez and his dominance. The Washington Nationals just scored 2 more runs in the 7th inning than he's allowed all year.
Ooh.
Gives you an idea how good he's been.
That is amazing. Good stat. Broken bat looper. And a hit to right center field. Willingham's second of the game.
Similar to the last one, too, just pushing a little soft fly ball out there to right center. This time even softer than the previous one, but he'll take it. Also walked twice. So he enhances that league leading on base percentage, and he's done for the day.
Yeah, he leaves for a pinch runner. Roger Bernardina takes over, pinch running for Willingham. He's a speed merchant. Willie Harris is the batter. It's a 14-hit day for the guys on that bench. Strike one to Harris, 0 for 3 with a walk. Well, the Astros allowed 19 hits Friday night in Cincinnati and 18 Saturday, and now 14 so far today. They have really been shell-shocked in 3 of their last 4 games. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I was talking about the players' body language. I just took a glance at Gary Darling, the crew chief down there umpiring first base. He's got his arms folded, rolling his head back. He's thinking, come on, Billy. Open up that zone, pal. It's 14-4. I want to go have dinner.
Well, Gary will get his shot tomorrow night. 2 balls and a strike.
I think he's playing baseball bingo.
I think you're right. Popped up, and Keppinger moves underneath it.
I think he's marking down the square that said disinterested umpire.
He's into it, whatever he's doing. He's getting after it.
We're going to have to get some bingo cards made up.
Patriotic day, JD.
Patriotic shirt. Really comes in handy today.
Very good.
You know, I was looking at, and we've talked about this in past years, with Ted Williams' numbers in his all the time he spent. Legitimately could have made a run at Babe Ruth's home run record.
Yes.
When you think about the time he stayed away from the game, he missed 3 consecutive years there, the first tour of duty, in the prime of his career when he was averaging 37, 38 home runs a year. So, if you project that out, and then the next time in, give him 20 home runs or so, he wouldn't have quite gotten there, but he would have been close enough where he may have extended his career to get there.
Good point.
Finished with 521.
2-0 the count. Prime years for Ted. Bob Feller also. And Greenberg was 30 when he re-enlisted after he was discharged from the Army under new law releasing draftees 28 or older from duty. And Bob Feller was 23 when he rushed to enlist after Pearl Harbor. Potentially prime years for a player.
Now, Ted Williams initially did not enlist. His classification was 3A because his mother was solely dependent on him for her livelihood. And then the media started to get after him for not enlisting. He was trying to change his classification. And he had every intention. He said, once he built up a trust fund for her, he was going to enlist. And the media got after him. So he said, well, heck with you guys. I'll just go in now. And
3-2 to Desmond. Hank Greenberg received his draft call on May 7th, 1941. He had played in 3 World Series and 2 All-Star games. He hit 58 homers in 38 and was the MVP in the American League 1940. He gave up a $55,000 yearly salary playing baseball for $21 a month. Army pay. Strikeout. 2 outs. Now Carlos Maldonado, who homered in the 7th inning, is 1 for 4. Here's ball 1 to Maldonado. The Atlanta Braves are in first place in the NL East. They knocked off the Phillies 9-3. A win for Tommy Hanson. Hanson 5-3 now. He beat Joe Blanton as 1-4. Troy Gloss and Chipper Jones homered. And the Braves are a half game in front of the Phillies.
Troy Gloss has 8 home runs now, 3 for Chipper. Troy Gloss looked like he might have been out of gas, but he's done pretty well.
He has
274, 37 driven in. Looks like it's going to prove to be a very good sign by the Atlanta Braves. He's only making $1.7 million. Sleeping fan, mark that on your bingo card.
He's not sleeping, he's just resting.
Radar gun.
You know those radar guns have been getting work out in preparation for the amateur draft coming up in about, in 1 week.
Goodness. Giving it up. Astros pick 8th. They pick 19th. I think they pick 33rd. They get compensation picks for losing Valverde. Hawkins, too, I guess. He'd be a Class A. Or was he not a Class A?
I don't know. Did they offer him arbitration?
That's right. Yeah.
They didn't offer him arbitration. They get 2 picks for Valverde.
That's right. Yeah. And the young man from the Woodlands, Jamison Tyon.
Yeah.
Projected by some to be the 2nd or 3rd overall pick in the draft. But he won't be around when the Astros pick.
But if he were.
Oh, big righty. Rushes it up there about 96 miles an hour.
Yeah. Burdak gets a strikeout in the 8th inning. No runs on a hit. The man left. It's 14-4 Washington. Ty Cobb. Christy Mathewson on the left. Major League Baseball veterans who served in the war. Robert Cleveland Alexander.
Ty Cobb joined the U.S. Army's Gas and Flame Division. I wonder what that was.
Not sure.
Just looking at this website here. Georgia's great baseball legend was commissioned by Washington to defend our country's freedom in France in 1918. Ranch Rickey and Christy Mathewson joined Cobb for the 2-month stint before arriving in New York on December 16th. This near-death experience cost the life of Mathewson 7 years later. I did not know that.
Oh, yeah, he had some lung disease. Carlos Lee, batting in the bottom of the 8th inning. He's 1 for 3, an RBI single his first time up. All the way, there's strike 1. Roger Bernardina is in left field. Taking over there for Josh Willingham after pinch running. The Angels beat Kansas City 7-1 behind Erwin Santana. He's 5-3. 0-2 the count when Coach Haver was the loser. Mike Napoli and Juan Rivera, along with Maestros Torres, went deep for the Angels. The Angels, wasn't that weird that they tempered their celebration on game-winning homers, and they had another one after the injury to Henry Morales.
The very next day,
yeah,
just to make sure they had an opportunity to practice not going ballistic at home plate on a game-winning home run.
That's amazing that it happened for a second straight day. That time they didn't pummel each other. Nobody injured. Tap wide of third base. It's still a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, the home plate celebration isn't particularly new. I mean, it's an outburst of emotion, but the beating of the man, just leaping into home and getting mugged is relatively new. Say within the last decade. Can't say that I'm a big fan of that.
No. Almost makes you not want to have a game on the hit.
Yeah. It's only the other one that crept into the game some time ago. I have no idea when. The post-game handshake resembling like a youth league where everybody lines up and just walks by each other. Well, I don't think that happened when I played. I think I remember if the game ended, you shook hands with the catcher and everybody just kind of gradually moved towards the dugout and then on up to the clubhouse.
Yeah.
And the guys in the dugout would come out and kind of wait and greet you and shake hands, but there wasn't that line. It's like, I guess maybe it's because of all the organized sports everybody plays now. You get used to making the line. Maybe all the parents of the players should come out over and make that little tent thing and the guys could run through it.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
Not a bad thought. They would enjoy that. Popped up.
Maybe we should let fans do that. We select a certain number of fans. If the Astros win, you get to make the little rooftop thing the players will pass through.
That would be excellent. Andy Pettit and the Yankees beat Cleveland 11-2. Pettit goes to 7-1 with a 2.48 ERA. Robinson Cano hit his 11th homer. A-Rod hit number 7. Three and 2.
Lineup shakeup didn't help the Cubs. They got beat 2-1 by the Pirates this afternoon. Meek beat Marshall. Dotel got his 11th save. Garrett Jones at number 6 for the Buccos.
Up the middle. Desmond. 1 out. And Hunter Pence is the batter. He's 0 for 3. Cincinnati 2, St. Louis 1. They've played 2 in St. Louis. Miguel Cairo's playing again today for the Reds.
Joey Votto's still out of there, eh?
Apparently so. I'm going to check. Make sure that Cairo's not playing some other position.
Well, he's playing first base.
Okay.
There's the good stuff.
Oh, that rainbow. Is that rainbow sherbet?
Oh, snow cone, I think.
Okay. 1 ball and 1 strike. His attention divided between the dessert and the ball game. 1 and 2. We get a lot of shots of fans in games like this when the look is this is the last place on earth I want to be. Mm-hmm. And I can understand that. It's a blowout game. You can go. It's okay. Yeah, they could lead. Ground ball to third. Gonzalez with the play. 2 outs.
I appreciate hanging in there, though. I think a lot of times it's parents with kids. Kids are always more optimistic than parents. Mm-hmm. Kids are, we're going to come back. We're going to come back.
Well, if you take kids anywhere where there's food and fun, they never want to leave.
Well, and then the other thing too is the game may be a lost cause, but maybe they get to see their favorite player get one more at bat.
Yeah.
Maybe they get to see somebody knock one out of here or make a great play.
Sure. Or if it's a 6-year-old, you don't think you're sitting around the dinner table and that 6-year-old, I really like the way they handled that cutoff.
Just a really advanced kid.
You know, they were lined up so well. Bouncer into center field by Pedro Feliz. He's 2 for 4. And now it's Tommy Manzella. He singled to right in the 4th. Pedro's had some better results.
A couple of hits for Pedro today. Not knocking the cover off of it, but a couple of knocks anyway. That's a good start. Good step in the right direction.
He takes off for second. No play on him, and it's ball 1. Another fielder's indifference.
FI for scoring at home. FI. Do you put little periods?
No, but you
Make
can.
an abbreviation?
You can. You can do whatever you want. It's your scorecard. 2-0. Do you keep your old scorecards?
No, not generally. I have, this scorebook that I'm operating out of now should be able to last me the whole year. But everything's on the computer. I mean, you can go back and find every play-by-play of every game.
Yeah. 3 balls, no strikes.
So your scorebook is, you got color-coded.
Yeah.
You got some good stuff going on. I don't know if we can get
put
a shot of that. But
I put the hits in red.
I don't know if we can get a tight enough shot. But yours is masterful.
But you can go back years later and tell exactly what happened in the game. Well, the yellow highlighter, he wanted to know what that was. That was these 3 guys. This scorebook ran over into the 8th inning, but they really batted in the 7th inning.
Okay,
so that's what the yellow
designates.
They didn't bat in that inning. They were in the previous inning. They batted twice. Walk to Manzella. And now it's Quintero batting. Q is 0 for 3.
And a note here from Sally Gunter. Roy Oswalt ejected twice before tonight.
Okay. When was the other time?
The one you mentioned when he hit Michael Barrett with the Cubs. And ironically enough, Billy Hahn was the umpire in that game, too.
Okay.
And then Mark Carlson got him for throwing objects onto the field.
Oh, yeah.
And that was in the 04 season as well. I don't remember that one.
Okay, he was in the dugout, wasn't he?
Must have been, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a little different than being on the field. 1-0 to Quintero. Oakland leads at Detroit 2-0. They're in the middle of the 5th inning.
See Q wearing that elbow pad. He got banged around a little bit in yesterday's ball game. That's kind of the norm for him. We've nicknamed him the King of Pain. Here's that fastball he took right off the elbow. And then one to the grill. Earlier on the road trip, he got hit in the head by a Prince Fielder follow-through after a swing.
That was a tough trip. 2-1. Tim Lincecum is trailing Ubaldo Jimenez. 2-0 Colorado. Top of the 4th now at San Francisco. Some of the teams are off today in the American League. Bouncer back. And Walker takes it over to first base to end the 8th inning with no runs, 1 hit. And 2 men left. Through 8, it's 14-4 Nationals. top of the 9th inning a moment away. Hey, baseball fans, Chevy is a proud sponsor of youth baseball programs throughout the state of Texas. If you would like to learn more about Chevy's commitment to youth league baseball programs, visit www.chevytexasbaseball.com. Wilton Lopez warms up for the 9th inning here with the Nationals leading at 14-4. They've out-hit Houston 14-7. Each club has an error. Wilton's 1-0. His ERA is 4.24.
Yeah, he's a guy to keep an eye on. He's got very good movement on his fastball. Halfway decent breaking pitch. Real good sink. And I like his composure. I think he's pretty comfortable here at the big league level now as he settles in. I mentioned this the other day. I think he's got a chance to be this year's Alberto Arias. The guy who really steps up, establishes himself. Of course, Arias a lost season this year, hurt.
Alberto Gonzalez swings at the first pitch, tops it, and it's foul third base side. Strike one to Gonzalez. It's his first time to the plate today. He does not play often. He came in at third base for Zimmerman. Gonzalez had 43 at bats coming into this game, hitting .326. See, they're happy they stayed. That's the other thing.
Yeah, if you hang around, your chances of getting a foul ball go up significantly. Competition is not strong.
And it's no balls, 2 strikes. Tim Burdack in 1 inning allowed 1 hit, no runs with no walks, 2 strikeouts. It's 1 and 2.
Sir Chris Johnson hit another home run last night for the Round Rock Club.
He's been putting some good games together.
He's starting to make some noise. Hitting .333 now, has 5 home runs.
Well, it's about that time of year now. This is game number 51 of the season. That teams take a look at what they have. If they are thinking about making personnel changes, somebody's really hot in the minor leagues might get a promotion.
Yeah, Memorial Day, typically a point in the season where teams take stock.
Some people think that the pennant races begin on Memorial Day, right, JD?
Yeah, I've heard that cliche. I think, it's very difficult to play your way into a pennant early in the year, but you can play your way out of one.
Bounce to shortstop. Manzella gets Guzman 2 outs.
Any club can have a hot streak for a couple of weeks. And so I guess the question is, how far into the season does the team have to perform at a high level before you start to buy it? The Reds would be a great example. If the Reds are a stock, are you buying, are you selling, or are you holding? 2-3 weeks ago, I don't think I would have been buying, but I don't know. Having seen them play this weekend,
yeah,
I think they may be legit. Especially with Chapman down on the farm. Edson Volquez coming back at some point, maybe in July.
Well, how about this? If you could do a leverage buyout and buy enough shares to get yourself on the board of directors and then tell them they needed some relief help. Let's get a setup guy here. Strike makes it 2-1. Nice day for families to be together. It's kind of a reflective time for a lot of folks. Bouncer back to the mound. Lopez takes care of the 3rd out. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning with a score of 14-4 Nationals. by your Texas Ford dealers and the 2010 F-150, and by the Progressive Insurance Group. 14-4, the Nationals lead it. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning, and it'll be Jason Michaels to lead it off. Then on deck, Jeff Blum to pinch hit for the pitcher, Wilton Lopez. As those ladies watch here at Minute Maid Park. And Jeff Keppinger to the bat third in the inning, with Tyler Walker trying to nail it down. And it would be 2 1/3 innings for Tyler Walker if he can get 3 more outs. Jason Michaels was hit by a pitch back in the 7th from Atalano as he pinch hit. Nigel Morgan in center field moves around. 1 out.
Good veteran approach there, hacking early.
Yeah. Jeff Blum, a .256 hitter with no homers, 9 runs batted in. Has done well pinch hitting. He's 5 for 16 with 5 runs batted in as a pinch hitter. And he got to play back-to-back games in Cincinnati over the weekend. Had a double and a walk yesterday. A very nice play at third base in the 10th inning on Cairo in the 2-0 10-inning win. It's ball 1. Wilton Lopez in 1 inning allowed no hits, no runs, and he had a strikeout.
Player of the game.
Yeah. Let's see. He and Tim Burdack both pitched a scoreless ball in their innings. Popped up to short. Desmond taken care of out number 2. And Keppinger will bat now. Brett Myers is set to go for tomorrow night's game at 7:05.
Well, good man to have going tomorrow. His bullpen's stressed now because of the ejection of Roy Oswalt. Myers has been very good this year, pitching 6 innings or more in every one of his starts.
Strike to Keppinger. Myers opposes Craig Stammen tomorrow night at 7:05, 6:30 Astros live time. And Roy Oswalt had a shot at tying the club record, 11 consecutive quality starts to open a season. That was set by Dave Justy, so Dave will find that record to be intact now. Myers getting set for duty tomorrow evening. They'll be facing a Washington team that has accumulated 14 runs on 14 hits today. One and 2. Jim Engelman's club about to return to 500 at 26-26 with a win today. John McLaren there is his bench coach. He lived in Houston for many years. John's a Texas native.
Jimmy Riggleman, he went to Frostburg State. That's Maryland. That's not too far down the road from where the Nationals play ball.
Johnny Mack, good man. He managed the Seattle Mariners for a while. Been a long-time major league coach. John's living in the Phoenix area now. 2-2. Walker's thrown 34 pitches. Lance Berkman's on deck. Full count. Ray Knight, the former Astros, here broadcasting for the Nationals on television with Bob Carpenter. Ball 4 puts Keppinger on. Ray.
Carp's got it going on with the patriotic tie.
Yeah. Very patriotic for Bob.
He's packing up. He's ready to go home. You don't put your, the old adage is you don't put your bats away till the last out is recorded. We see Carp there. He's putting his binoculars away, shutting down the computer. He's taking us for granted.
Like he must have early dinner plans. Lance Berkman's 0 for 3 with a walk. Yeah. Taking things for granted. Keppinger goes to second. Another fielder's indifference on strike one.
That's a club record for the season, at least. The fielder's indifference is
3.
Yep. Real positive to come out of this one.
If that's a positive, then we're really scraping, aren't we? But you're right. Foul back.
Hey. Yeah.
No balls, 2 strikes. The Nationals got in about 12:30 in the morning from San Diego. A win today makes them 3-4 on the road trip. And there's a win today for the Nationals. Berkman striking out to end it. Walker closing the door, and Attilano is now 5-1, beating Oswalt, who goes to 3-7. And there's the swing and a miss to give Washington win number 26 of the season. Walker going 2 1/3 in relief.